Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be the weekly review of the Power Profit Scan newsletter, which is part of the Inner Circle subscription service that I offer. What we're looking at here is behind the scenes, and one of the ways you can access these scans is just through the member portal. I also email it out, so it's a situation of whatever makes your life easier to get access to these, whether that's your email or just logging into the member portal. That's up to you, but that's what we're looking at here. A few disclosures before I go any further. First off, am I trying to imply that every single alert that I send out, every single scan, is some sort of winner? Absolutely not. I wish I could say I was perfect, but I am not perfect. Nobody is perfect, so I'm not trying to come across like everything is always a winning alert or anything like that. And in fact, for those of you that have watched many of the other past videos in this playlist, you know that I've shown losses, I've shown sloppy trades, and I try to show a good wide variety of things, but I just want to just throw it out there right now. By no means is this intended to make it sound like every single time that I send out an alert, it's going to be a money-making opportunity. On top of that, it also goes to show the importance of risk management, because losing trades do happen. So you want to make sure that you understand how to control the losses, because while losing trades happen, winning trades also happen. And when winning trades do happen, you want to make sure that you have your account in the best possible position to benefit from those winners. And then the second disclosure, we are going back to the week of 12/31/18. Why so far? Two reasons. First off, it just gives the chart plenty of time for everything to play out. And then second, it's just a matter of being fair. The last thing I would want is for somebody to pay for something and then all of a sudden it's out on the internet for free. That person would probably feel a little ripped off, and I'd say they were justified in that feeling. So with that being said, let's get to it. The first alert I made, scan, whatever you want to call it, I created kind of just my own little category for it. More panic needed, and CYH was a ticker. And basically the premise was that there had been a lot of bloodshed already. However, I wanted to see if the price could roll back over and come down to this, approximately $2.50 area. So let's see how this one played out. Now, before we see what happens, a couple things to note. First off, keep in mind the prices. One of the big questions is, hey, Clay, what price range do you cover? I cover anything. I don't care about prices per se. I care about probabilities. I care about odds. Odds that, hey, this is going to turn out to be a winning trade. Probabilities that it's going to turn out to be a winning trade. So price is very far down the list. And if you watch past videos, you've seen me talk about penny stocks, sub-penny stocks, stocks over $100. So just keep in mind prices are going to be all over the place. So right now we're looking at a $3 stock. And then also, these are always sent out via the email, or like I said, you could log into the member portal every weekend. That way you have all weekend long to put together kind of how you maybe want to approach these different setups. So that is when things are put out into play. So as we just went over, this was the more panic needed, or in other words, the price needed to get down towards this green line down there at 250. So let's see how this one played out. So Monday right there, the opening portion of the week, started to make its way down, and then that happened. And then that happened. And then that happened. And then that happened. Up and up it went for a 48% move. So in other words, I was definitely wrong. Now, sure, I could kind of try to finagle and say, well, yeah, you got in right there, but that wouldn't really be genuine given that the whole, logic behind the alert was that more panic was needed to get down to this 250 range. And that just simply never happened. Like I said, if I really wanted to, I guess I could try to say that, yep, that was a big enough pullback, but no, that's not quite close enough to $2.50. So here's an example of one where, yeah, I was wrong. I was thinking it had a potential at 250, and it smacked me in the face and said, no, we're not going to 250. We're going now, and we're going to make a 48% move. So it is what it is. So while this wasn't a losing trade, it was definitely one that did not play out the way it was looking, and left us 48% in the dust. The next alert that was sent out was nothing fancy as far as category is concerned, just a technical pattern, and the technical pattern was the falling wedge, which you can see right here. Ticker symbol was Nvidia. Maybe you've heard of it. So again, price-wise, we've gone from a $3 stock, and now we're talking about a stock that at the time of the alert was up over $130. So let's see how this one played out. The week started. Took a little bit of patience. Nothing happened right away, but there was the break right there. Consolidated a quick second. Went sideways a little bit more, and then got some continued follow-through up there for a total of a 14% move. Now I realize, yeah, 14%, not a huge percent gainer, but you got to keep things in context. This is a $100 stock that is doing millions upon millions upon millions of dollars every single day. So theoretically, and I'm not saying anybody did this, but you could put $1 million into this and have a pretty relatively easy time selling. Whereas if you were to go and put $1 million into, let's just say, some sort of penny stock that moves 200%, yeah, good luck selling $1 million worth of a penny stock without crashing and destroying the whole thing. So there is a little bit of apples and oranges. Percentage, yeah, 14%. But this is a highly liquid stock where you could, like I said, put in large amounts of money. I mean, $100,000, for example, would be a drop in the bucket. I mean, it wouldn't even sneeze. You wouldn't even rock. Nobody would even notice $100,000 on Nvidia. Again, $100,000 on a penny stock, that's a different story. Also, though, and this kind of brings about, Claire, is it only stock traders in your community? No, we have lots of options traders too. So from an options perspective, you get this sort of movement on the underlying stock, and from the the option point of view, that's some very solid gains within that realm of things. So sure, 14%, but when you consider these other bits of context, definitely a very nice winner for the community. Next one here was ticker symbol CARA, and just, is there a bounce coming? So just basically noted that it got beat down quite a bit, started to go sideways, so just kind of threw out the question, hey, is this thing ready for a bounce? Also threw out there, just in case, if it were to break to the downside, it could be a shorting opportunity. So let's see how this one played out. So price-wise, we're now talking about right around a $13 stock. So from $3 to $133 to now $13. Hopefully you're seeing quite a wide price variety here. So let's see how this one played out. There's the first day from when it was sent out, and then right there, didn't waste much time. Big old volume, nice price movement, a little bit of consolidation, and then just kept on grinding upwards. And that was a total price movement of 26.5%. So good solid movement, and again, a nice liquid stock where you could put in a good chunk of change, and if you're getting right around, and not necessarily that you played it perfectly for 26.5%, but even if you played it half right, that's still 13% in a short time span. That's good solid money. And my favorite analogy, if you don't think 13 to 15% in a week is really worth anything, go into your local bank, your local credit union, and say, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, sir, here is some money. I would like 15% return on this money within the next 2 weeks. They're going to say, well, we have these bank CDs over here that'll give you 3% if you hold on to it for 3 years. But I'm going to call the police on you, sir, because you are a crazy person to want 15% in a week or two. What are you talking about? So let's keep things in perspective here. Definitely a very nice move. The final alert here, ticker symbol AWSM, and just pointed out it as a volume alert. You can see volume surged in here quite a bit. And as I noted that, in the past, it has shown the ability to move pretty big. I mean, from $7.50 up to $22, absolutely insane. So when you see the volume kick back in, it at least, makes it a logical question to wonder, hey, this thing has shown that it can move. Maybe history is getting ready to repeat itself. Not necessarily to that extent, but you get the idea. It's shown the ability to move. Maybe another big move is coming. So here was the chart going into the weekend. Again, now take a note at the price. We're talking about a $2 stock here. And I also want to note that while this line here is not annotated, it does go to show the power of knowledge and the power of having an understanding towards the market. If you can see why I have that line there, then that's good. I mean, I'm not going to say that you have all of trading figured out, but at least you understand some basics of charting. But where I have that line there is not necessarily any sort of revolutionary placement, or does it imply any sort of brilliant knowledge? Like I said, it's pretty basic. So because of that, even if you do know, oh yeah, I know why you put that there, don't get carried away and start to put your college tuition money on that. I mean, there's still a lot more that, and maybe you are all set, but my point is that is a more than logical, a more than rational place to kind of aim for some sort of entry point. I mean, and if you want, I mean, you could have, gotten in right around here as far as the calculations are concerned, but let's see how this one played out. So went sideways, pulled back right there, and you can see spent some time right around that green line, which, like I said, even if you have a basic understanding of charts, none of that price action should necessarily shock you at all. So right there, an entry point right around, I think I didn't play this perfectly buying the low. I these calculations are based off of an entry point right around here at about $1.65-ish. So again, I'm not manipulating the numbers where I'm saying that people played it exactly perfectly at the low. No, that's not the case here. And then seeing how things continue to play out, you can see the party started to come back to life. Pulled back a little bit there, but nothing, massive. Notice patience was required, but then things really came to life there, and that all equated to a 112% move. Now, I realize that maybe it didn't look like it moved that much, but you got to keep in mind, from down around $1.65 to the high that it went up here at $3, and how high was that? $3.50. Percentagely, that was actually a very big move, so 112%. Again, am I saying that people played it perfectly? No. Let's say you screwed up half the trade. Okay, now you're looking at, about a 55% move. Okay, 55% move in, let's say, a few weeks. Again, go into your local bank. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. I'd like 55% return on my money within the next 3 weeks. They will look at you like you're a crazy person. So overall, though, 112% move. Very nice gainer for the members, and just a great example on the power of charts. As I wrap things up here, if you are interested in joining, just go to claytrader.com/inner circle. There's also a link down in the description box, or you can just go to claytrader.com and there's a section inner circle. The cost for all of this is $99 per year. Not per week, not per month, not per quarter, per year. If you do the math, it breaks down to $8.25 per month, or $1.90 per week. As I say every week, and will continue to say, I am very, very confident that over the time span of 12 months, you're going to get at least $99 worth of value. Yeah, I realize I'm not setting the bar too high, but that price is just enough to keep out the pumpers. It's just enough to keep out the trolls, and it works well for everybody. So yeah, take a look, and these are all the different dynamics of it. We talked about the power scans, but there's also the live trading chat room that comes with it. And there is a mobile app, so it's not like you have to stay chained to your computer or anything like that. You can stay in touch wherever you are at. If there are any other questions or anything, then leave them down in the comment section. Hit me up on social media. Email, whatever makes your life easiest. Just let me know, and I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. But yeah, come on, give it a try. It's literally breaks down to $1.90 per week. No excuses. Let's go.